Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Today, we're playing Pro Philosopher 2 demo. I saw this game as I was browsing through, and I thought it would be so fun to play it. So, here we are. We'll see if it is. All I see is that I argue with a bunch of philosophers. So, I'm here for it. The demo, fit for a prince. Choose your demo experience. Hurry me to the army to give you some banter for context, of course. Another night, and then the Dreamtime visit to the intelligible realm. Now there's a obviously this is the second one. There's the first one, which goes by the same pro. It's just called. You can just look at Pro Philosopher. You'll probably find it. But obviously, we're doing the banter for the context here. What will we debate this time? The essence of truth, the meaning of life. Which philosopher has the worst hair? Socrates, probably. Oh, it's definitely Schopenhauer. I don't know their names. Hi, Ari. Jen? Really? I'm what surprises you here? Look around. Everything is floating. My college roommate. Nice enough, I guess. But when I'm studying, she's out dancing. She's the last person I expect to see here for multiple reasons. How's anyone here? What is this purple place? 3 years ago, my dad and I died. Well, he died. I just got swept along for the ride. This place, the intelligible realm, it's the world of ideas and a sort of afterlife for great thinkers. We had arrived by mistake. My dad was no philosopher, so the arbiter, ruler of the realm, laid out a challenge. If we found the nature of morality, one of the great philosophical questions, we both could return to life. Obviously, we succeeded. Not telling you our answer, though. If you want the whole tale, Socrates Jones, Pro Philosopher, is currently free on Steam. Well, there you go. Actually, I don't think it's free at the moment. I think it is for sale. Let me see here. Oh, wait, no, it is. It is for free. You know what? I'll probably... I pulled it up on Steam and the trailer started playing. Ariadne Jones. I see you've already met our special guest. Arbiter, how's Jen in the afterlife? Arbiter, how's Jen in the afterlife? Did she party too hard and die? I wish. What a way to go. Please, nothing so morbid. While other living beings cannot visit as you can, the rules of reality have been altered for tonight's event. What event? Wait, is it your birthday? Yes, actually. But that's not why we're here. Tonight we demonstrate the content of Pro Philosopher 2 and dip our toes into its formidable topic. Political philosophy. Oh no. Politics. Hold up, Pro Philosopher 2 is about political philosophy. That is correct. But I hate discussing politics. I deliberately avoid the subject. Not me, I personally love it. What possible situation could force me to delete political philosophers? Not a fan of the sun's silence here. Maybe we'll give you a hint of why you'd try when you finish the demo debate. But the topic has a profound influence on the world, Aradni. I assume it's Aradni. Whether you avoid it or not. Ain't that the damn truth? Fine. Arbiter, who's the demo philosopher? Nikolai, Machiavelli? Nikolai Machiavelli? Sounds about right. You've got to be kidding me. Dracula? I assure you there is nothing humorous about this situation. Nikolai is an Italian nobleman, friend of Leonardo da Vinci and author of The Prince, so he's not Russian. Oh, it's Niccolo Machiavelli. Yeah, I've heard of him. We're just going to call him Nicovolo. Mom calls him the teacher of evil, though I never paid enough attention to know why. So I'm to face this small child. I guess it's Italian. I keep giving him a Russian voice, and he's got an attitude. This is going to be a trip. Very well. I shall wipe the floor with this naive girl, and then perhaps I'll stop by for some ziti, and then perhaps you will all appreciate my ideas. I'm not going to try to give him an accent. I've already crossed the boundary into racism. And you believe such experience is relevant? My. I'll bring you to the truth of the matter, end these repeated fantasies. Presentation. The primary purpose of all government is to provide stability, but to distribute power among the many or even the few is to invite disunity and disorder. Clearly, it is the best that a single monarch, the prince, maintains the state. During my time, Italy was leaderless, lawless, and beaten, ruined in every way. Families, guilds, priests, and merchants So this guy's a monarchist, is from what he's a monarchist. So essentially, like his whole vibe is like if one guy essentially guarantees everything to work instead of like a House of Representatives or whatever. Although speaking of which, I heard uh, the France leader disassembled the parliament today, which is crazy. Families, guild, priests, and merchants all fought for influence over councils and committees. For years, I participated in the Florentine Republic, only to see it fall to the Medici family upon their return. I'm going to butcher a lot of these names, forgive me. With a strong prince at the helm, work can actually get done. Ooh, a verbal duel with Machiavelli. This is so exciting. Is it? Yes! Stop being a party pooper, Ari. We gotta sell this game. Okay, no turning back now. Let's throw ourselves into this. Tell me how to play. Can we review how we throw ourselves into this? Oh, sure. I can tutorialize for you. All arguments are made out of multiple statements, which you can navigate freely. For each statement, you can drop logic bombs to expose various issues. Right. I should ask for clarification if a statement is vague or unclear. And you should press for backing if the idea needs more support and justification. These moves can cause your opponent to revise their argument or need to present a new one entirely. Ask the right questions in the right spots, and boom, you blow your opponent's arguments to smithereens. Isn't there a third question I can ask? Not in the demo land. You'll have to settle for 2/3 of your logical arsenal. I'm not sure I appreciate these militaristic metaphors. Hey, we gotta bring out the big guns from Machiavelli. He's infamous. You know what? We're Googling it, because I don't want to keep butchering this guy's name. Machi. How do I pronounce his name, though?
Niccolo Machiavelli.
Yeah, I was right. Machiavelli. Alright, we're good. Thank you, Google. Do you intend to face me or continue this insufferable banter? Let's get started, then. Argument. Primary purpose of government is to provide stability. Clarification. Can you clarify that statement? Government's job is to establish and enforce laws. True. By doing it, so establishes its domain, and within that domain it must establish order. Primary purpose of all government is to provide stability. Okay. So he essentially saying that the government. Can I read? Is there a log? Oh, there is. Okay. The government's job is to establish and enforce laws. By doing so, establish its domain. Within that, government must establish order. But it also government's guarantees to a job is to guarantee the rights and protections of its people, not just to establish and enforce laws. So sometimes, if a law goes against the people, it's the government's job to remove said law. What evidence do you have to support this statement? People tend to remain content as long as life remains predictable. Okay, that's actually true. Well, the only predictable state is a stable and secure state. Primary purpose of all government banks is provide stability. Okay, but to distribute power among the many or even the few, so invite disunity and disorder. Clarification. When you need multiple people to decide anything, you most likely decide nothing. So it's essentially like a critique of government, like essentially like how a two-party system or multi-party system like America has, where there's a bunch of infighting where no one gets done. But if it's a monarch or a single strong leader, he can essentially decide, hey, we're doing this now, right? Can you back this statement? Every person brings their own peculiar, petty preferences to decisions. Have too many seats at the dinner table and you'll be trapped in arguments instead of enjoying your ravioli. I'd rather have lasagna anyway. See? Petty preferences. Lasagna wasn't even invented until after my death. Well, sucks for that guy. No lasagna? Government is no different. We cannot afford the weakness of bickering. But lasagna... Okay, I get it. The lasagna bit. So let's... Essentially... Okay, so... when you need multiple people to decide anything, you most likely decide nothing. Essentially saying, if there's too many people in government, it just leads to arguing. He's essentially like not only he's a monarchist, but also he's arguing for smaller government rather than a larger government. Just more power concentrated rather than power spread out to a bunch of different things. And essentially, this is where he's saying if there's too many people, nothing will get done. Clearly, it's best that a single monarch, the prince, maintains the state. Can you clarify that? One ruler's ideal, clear enough. The ideal of a single monarch was fairly common in history. Thomas Hobbes and Thomas Aquinas were two other notable supporters. So wait, are all Toms into monarchy? Yes. Well, Thomas More certainly wasn't a fan. He was beheaded as a result, and Thomas Jefferson as well. More like Thomas No More, then. Okay, Ari, rude. Okay, let's go back to the questions. Clearly the best single monarch, and then backing. What's your evidence? Many voices introduce discord, one voice does the opposite. The monarch provides a clear figurehead for all who can act decisively and efficiently. Is efficiency that important? Isn't it worth taking a little time to loop people in? In affairs of state, threats have to be dealt with immediately. Like tuberculosis, if you wait until symptoms are apparent, it is already too late. Interesting. Backing statement added to the argument. Hey, you did it, Ari. Your questions forced him to update his argument. A few more, and I'm sure you'll have them. So what that did was essentially, instead of just getting someone who can do something like right away, it's to try to do something as efficiently as possible. Where essentially you don't want to wait. If you wait too long, it'll be too late. That's like his argument. And if there's one person where it's only one person has to make up their mind, bada bing, bada boom, done. Then the prince can do all must be done without restriction or reaction. Clarification. What do you mean by all that must be done? There's nothing holding the prince back from strengthening the state. He can and should do whatever is needed to secure power, using any means. Any means. He's not going to what? Torture, murder, assimilate. Whatever is needed to secure power means whatever is needed. I guess that's why he's called the father of evil. After all, politics have no relations to morals. Pause. You can't really be arguing the ideal government is that one that discards all morals. We not only can, we are. The great thinker Ibn Khaldun once said that the role of government is to prevent injustices other than those it commits itself. Don't like that. That's America did a silly bit of a revolution for words like that. But the injustices of the world are great, so the prince's must be even greater. The prince's injustices, that is. Being noble in a world without nobility will only end in tragedy. Enough. We have to proceed to the more advanced lessons. Presentation. Treachery has always been an element of politics. The prince must act accordingly. A strong hand is required to install order and defeat all threats within and without. Many morals, however, get in the way of strengthening the realm. Prince must discard such principles and put the needs of the state above the needs of the people. Do you see, girl? If anything, your love of moral philosophy would disqualify you from leadership. To remain in power, the prince must be prepared to do anything. Well, damn. I didn't realize Sith was a valid philosophy in the intelligible realm. Threats from without idea added to ideal state. So, with that, essentially, this is exactly why monarchy is bad, because it creates a power vacuum where essentially someone who, quite literally sits on a throne above everyone else is like, oh, I can do no wrong because I have to do my wrongs, the ends justify the means, essentially is what he's saying. And he's saying if you even have to sacrifice the people to maintain the state, then so be it. Threats from within, then threats without. Well, I can do more than just ask basic questions, right? I can also challenge individual statements, present a counterpoint that clashes with the statement, and send all of his hopes and dreams crashing to the ground. Now here's where my philosophy will fail. My online philosophy ideas will fail. Key ideas you can use a challenge to get added to the ideal slate. Most effective to use the philosopher's own ideas against them, so you're mostly limited to the things they've said. Compare the items in your ideal slate with his statements, and if there's a conflict between the two, challenge away. Okay, I think I get it. Just remember, if you just shout out stuff like you are bad because you smell bad, it'll hurt your credibility. And if you lose all credibility, you lose. But you wouldn't just insult people, would you? Well, some people. You stink added to the idea slate. Okay, well, for some philosophers that would probably work. This guy, maybe not. Treachery has always been an element of politics. Prince must act accordingly. Uh, so what he said was, treachery has always been an element of politics. Prince must act accordingly. I feel like I just biffed that. Prince must discard his principles above the needs of the people. There we are. Michaela, you claim the job was to establish stability, correct? Coretta. And in order to establish stability, a ruler must be ruthless. Indeed, the prince must be able to play both the cunning fox and the ferocious lion. Such is the only way to defeat Fortuna. The whims of fortune, right? So tell me, Machiavelli, while defeating the whims of fortune, you can also defeat the whims of your people. What? Machiavelli, you advocate rulers should be dishonest and treacherous when it serves. That they must enforce their will with strength, rule with an iron fist. But the strength of a single prince is limited, and as the prince expands his domain and seizes resources as you advise, the number of subjects will only grow. What stops the people from mustering all their strength to overthrow him? Power to the people, baby. Such turn events seem highly likely, if not inevitable. Excellent observation, Aridane. History has countless examples of deposed tyrants. A lot of them were in France and Italy. And obviously Rome being a big one. Although, was that really the reason for... Well, Julius did make himself a Caesar, so it's like, as Rome grew, it had to be given... The territories had to be given to the people. No, I think the splitting of Rome happened after Caesar. But Caesar's, being the Caesar of Rome was sort of the downfall of Rome. Time and again, despotic rulers have come to power, but eventually people realize they together have more power than those who lord over them. No single fist is irony enough to take on an entire population, not even the most ironic fist. People will rise up? No. How foolish a leader would have to be to let that happen. But it's happened time and time again. Only because ruler failed to deploy the correct methods. This is where he's coming back, where if nothing changes in their day-to-day life, people grow, stagnant. Essentially, they don't really care unless they themselves are affected personally, right? Because rulers failed to deploy the correct methods to keep the masses in check. Allow me to explain the tools at the prince's disposal. In order to prevent rebellion, the prince must ensure that people fear him. A few acts of merciless cruelty are needed to make would-be rebels cower, but the prince must not be hated. To offset the ire of the people, he must maintain the personal appearance of justice. The prince must therefore do what is needed to recruit agents to enforce his will. Constantly reminded of the prince's power, peasants would not dare step out of line. Ben, you see, power breeds resentment. Hatred is gained as much by good works as by evil. Love and fear are both desirable, but if you must choose between them, it is far safer to be feared. Only when the people know you're strong will they follow your commands. Control requires fear. Consider the Arbiter. He uses fear quite effectively to maintain control of this realm. Excuse me, I absolutely do not use fear to rule. A superb demonstration. You gotta own it. His yelling is very dramatic, see? And the skull mask, yes, quite intimidating. But the mask is merely ceremonial. It is how people know I hold my position. My fellow's just taking into this idea of ruling by fear. He seems to have a response to everything. Do your debates always get this intense? I feel like you'll have to use everything you've learned here. Questions and challenges. Philosophers fight hard for their beliefs. You should have seen Kant the last time around. Can you blame us? We are here, lingering in the minds of men because our ideas had a lasting impact. Prince is my defining work, and I'm here to defend its influence. Well then, let's see how long your defenses hold against the Second Amendment. And I just shoot him. What if in a rebellion, the prince was sure that people fear? Clarification. Ideal if the people think the prince is great, but essential that they know he must not be crossed. Can I get some backing on that? My evidence will come shortly. Okay, but why not now? Because here I wish only for the full power of this concept to be felt. If you wish for elaboration, review my following statements. I mean, I get the idea here. Can I challenge him on anything here other than calling him stinky? Rulers do everything possible, prevent unrest on the people. Fairly is the only way to prevent betrayal is to maintain fear. Okay, well, let's swap over. A few acts of merciless cruelty are needed to make would-be rebels cower. Clarify that. If you torture and execute a few citizens, others will think twice before starting the rebellion you mentioned. If injury has to be done to a man, it should be so severe vengeance need not be feared. That's terrible. Why not just be kinder? Act decisively up front, and you need no further cruelty later. No one else will risk the same fate. Can I get backing on this? What evidence do you have to support this statement? Love is a bond of obligation. These miserable creatures break whenever it suits them to do so. But fear holds them fast by a dread of punishment that never passes. Once again, behold the arbiter. When one of us disrespects the rules of the debate, he quickly disciplines us. Don't be a Euthyphro. Know what you don't know. Please stop using me as an example. I don't rule with fear. You did hold my dad hostage last time he was here. Oh god. I did not hold him hostage. I gave him another chance to live. The character implications are completely different. If you insist, Arbiter, it is not our place to disagree with you. Exactly. Wait, no. You got owned. Can I challenge this in any way? My family believes you're strong enough to overcome any external threat. But a threat of the people would be internal, not external. Prince must not be hated. To offset the art of the people, he must maintain the personal appearance of justice. Clarify this, please. What do you mean by this? Well, the prince should be ruthless in practice. He can still create an aura of kindness. Those who want to kill him are less likely to act if they believe doing so would be unpopular. Don't know if I agree with that. Shinzo Abe got shot, after all. What evidence do you have to support this statement? As a public figure, everyone has a broad impression of you, but a few see who you really are. So it's less important that the prince possesses virtuous qualities, and more that he seems to possess them. Pope Alexander IV never did anything but trick people, made grand promises, but never kept them. People still followed him. Ferdinand of Aragon kept preaching peace and trust and living the opposite. I'm sure there are examples from your era as well, though if they are truly effective, people disagree on who they are. Can I challenge this in any way? Yeah, okay, I was going to say control requires fear, though. Phil, you said the only way to keep public under control is to instill fear, correct? But here you advocate for steps to become less feared. That seems directly contradictory.
Nonsense.
No, I've got nonsense back. No! Fear is necessary to keep the population under control, but does not have to be all-encompassing. Now, as I mentioned in the next statement, with surrogates creating fear on his behalf, the control he can exert is greater. The appearance of justice is only that, an illusion. The prince is still behind every plot keeping the people in line. But if the people do rise up, their cries will be against one of the prince's surrogates rather than the prince himself. We thus solve the problem of rebellion from two directions, replacing one fist with many fists and distracting from the prince's own involvement. But doesn't that go against your whole thing? Like, your whole thing is one fucking guy, but then he's got this whole guy, so why even... Alright. Let's go through the next arguments. Prince must therefore do what is needed to recruit agents to enforce his will. Clarify this, please. Recruiting surrogates will help the prince manage his state. Like a government or something. As she said, one individual will not intimidate the masses, but an army, very effective. But how would this be accomplished? If the prince is so treacherous, why would anyone serve him? The prince would ingratiate himself with the agents in order to court them. Occasional reward, very occasional no, would give this group something to aspire to, incentive to serve. Plus, agents will be granted power of their own, that's surely appealing. Interesting. I think this is an important clarification. Statement updated. The prince must... Can I challenge this in any way? Because this kind of goes against the whole thing of, like, the prince being the one guy to do it, right? What evidence do you have to support the statement? This follows the logic of your own argument, no? Selection of loyal forces grant the prince more power to control than he would have alone. To take care of the grimmest tax, the people's ire will be directed towards the surrogates rather than the prince himself. Even if the people rise up, it will be against that surrogate who is easily replaced. Yes, by doing so, a prince would most effectively calm the masses. Constantly reminded of the prince's power, peasants would not dare step out of line. Clarify that, please. Fear of reprisal will keep the resistance you describe from ever manifesting. Spark a revolution smothered before the flame. Do you have any evidence? I feel this is fairly intuitive. No, if my previous statements stand. If those who would resist are afraid, less want to resist because they do not blame the prince himself. Yes, the prince's power will be secure. How do I challenge this? How would I challenge? Let me see a hint. What's the hint? I think definitely just got kicked up a notch. Even the music's more intense. Although it's not very loud for me. I'm not sure I like Demogen's ability to break the fourth wall. Wait, can Demogen read my thoughts? Don't be silly. Now, use all your skills to take down McVelly. Right. In order to prevent rebellion, the prince must ensure that the people fear him. Man. Oh man, which one do I do? Control requires fear.
Nonsense.
Yeah, because why would it give rewards if it's fear, right? Ha ha! See what he's got in his sleeve. McVelly, the approach you describe is unsustainable. Even if fear is ineffective, I just realized I did not read a portion of that, so that's my bad. Even if fear is as effective a tool as you believe the ancients require to sustain it will be your undoing. The very power you give them to earn their loyalty makes them, through your own logic, less controllable. There's nothing to stop them from turning against their prince. Does make sense. You got him. Well, perhaps if you limited the number of agents, any number of agents is a threat to the prince's power. As more and more citizens are gathered under the rule of your prince, the need for such agents will only grow. But with each tool you forge to control the people, you are also forging your own downfall. Dictatorships are not only overthrown by the people themselves, but the people under the guy's power. They are often toppled by the military or by officers in their own government. Whatever form your enforcers take, eventually they will enforce their will against you. But the prince, the prince! Face it, McVelly, the truth is undeniable. To be ruthless is to make everyone a potential enemy. For that reason, the despot's rule is a doomed rule. For any prince or princess, ruling through fear is not enough. We're gonna get hit with a nonsense right here, watch. No! No, no, no. No, 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 nah. Oh my god, chill, bro. Bro, chill! McVelly. Take a chill pill, bro. I was not strong enough. Fortuna swept my last work away. Your last work? I was a writer of histories, of comedies. I never expected the prince to be so ubiquitous. I was exiled from the Florentine court while I wrote it, yes? Sure. Want to earn back their favor? I shared it with a very limited audience while alive. To be honest, it was so long ago, I'm not even sure I truly believed what I proposed. Did I intend it as a satire, a warning, rather than a guide? The other philosophers here seem to have mixed opinions on the matter. But then, like, why'd you fight so hard for it? No longer matters whether I believe it or not. It's my lasting contribution to the world. The prince is what I am known for. Machiavellian is a term for the worst of rulers. I literally, when I was looking him up, that popped up first. I am the patron saint of monsters, and I will never be anything else. Adios, Principecia. Well, I guess that's the demo completed. Maybe I can do this political thing. You sure emotionally devastated Darth Linguine. Wasn't exactly the goal, but philosophers do freak out sometimes. They are known for taking things emotionally, but I like it. Makes things more interesting. Now imagine that many times over with a lot of different political ideas and big overall mystery, and that's Pro Philosopher 2. Wow, good stuff. Everyone should wish list it. Wink, 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 wink. I know I did. What? Just thinking about how intense politics is as a topic, there's a reason I wanted to avoid it. Hope people think we do a good job. Oh, someone's totally going to yell at you on social media. It's inevitable. It'll be okay, though. In the full game, I'm just your roommate, innocent as can be. Wait, so then who's my actual companion? Is it Dad again? Nope. John Stuart Mill? Seriously? Then who? I'm sorry, I can't. Being in the philosophical afterlife isn't exactly a small deal that has to be tied to why I debate politics at all. Do you really want to know? Alright, get a preview of your fate? Tell me. Oh my god! It's George Washington! That's... Who is this? This is not how I plan to make my next visit. Perhaps it's for the best. We're looking up who the hell this is. Is this a real person? Pythia. Pythia was the name of the high priest of the Temple of Apollo at Delphi. I don't think this is the same person. I try to keep you out of everything, but now I need your help, pumpkin. Is this my mom? Oh my god, it's my mom! Alright, well, that's the game. That was the demo. That was really fun. That was a cute little shindig. Really excited for the full game. I'll definitely play it, whether for the channel or for myself. I guess we'll see. I might even do a playthrough of the original one, if I might think about it, or I might just play it for myself. But anyway, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, or don't. I am not your mother, but you better brush your teeth. Have a good one. Bye bye.